Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Back here in Kugane at the East Aldena Trading Company local headquarters. We took a fish hostage and got help from a turtle. So let's see what happens next. Right then, Gyodo should be coming around soon. I think it's time we had a little chat, don't you? Making the catfish sing. Rise and shine, little fishy. I know you can hear me, so stop pretending to be asleep or I'll give you another ride on my boot. No more boots. All my secrets are yours for the asking. Tell us what you know about Yugiri and Gosetsu. Every last detail. If I find out later that you lied to me. No more lies. The clear, unvarnished truth. You have my word. Only the samurai did I meet. Yes, only him. He asked after a ship, so I provided an introduction to the Galleons. You mean you led him into a trap as you did us? Because you're an Imperial spy. No, I'm no spy. It was just business. Few ships pass through Kugane these days and we struggle to make ends meet. So when the Guardians offered a bounty for any domans found in Kugane... Oh, my mistake. You're not a spy, but a common cutthroat. Not that I'm surprised. You need half a brain to be a spy, so what happened to the samurai? Such cruel, vicious tongue you have. He would not go quietly, no. Blades were drawn, men were cut down if the Sekazakumi came. They took the samurai away. Hold on a moment. You mean to tell me the Ijin they arrested the other day was Gosetsu? Oh, had I but known. If he is in custody of the Sekazakumi, I need only see to it that the requisite funds find their way into the right official's hands, and your friend will walk free. As it is in Ulda, so it is in Kugane. But given the circumstances, it seems we have no choice but to resort to morally questionable means. We'll make a pragmatist of you yet, Master Alphino. I've given you everything you asked for, yes? Then there's no need for me to remain your prisoner? We'll see. I have never laid eyes upon the sacred treasures of Eorzea. My heart fair trembles with excitement at the thought. You are free to wait here while I speak with the relevant official, but if you would rather wait for Gosetsu outside the barracks, we can go together. I wouldn't put it past the Imperials to try something again, so mayhap it would be best if Lee, Serenia and I joined you. Alright, but what of Gyodo? I will keep an eye on him for the time being. We can release him after you return with Gosetsu. You will doubtless have some choice words to say to the little fellow. Sorban, maybe it would be prudent to prepare your ship for our immediate departure. As you wish. Everything is in order? But let us be off. The Sekazakumi's barracks are to the north. Far to the north. This looks a bit fancy for a barracks, don't you think? I must ask that you wait here. You may be assured this will not take long. Let's wait then. Is it really going to be as simple as he says, do you think? Wait more. He said it wouldn't take long, right? Because it feels a bit long to me. Calm down, Lise. Everything is going to be alright. Much as I hate to admit it, I share Hancock's dim view of government officials and their supposed incorruptibility. From what I've gleaned from the Far East, they're probably exchanging lengthy pleasantries. There seems to be a correct way to do everything here, bribery being no exception. I say we leave them to it. Right, Serenia? Right. Everything's fine. Probably. I mean, it couldn't be as bad as the last time we stood around waiting for something to happen.
How about you?
Gosetsu.
Was that?
Yes, it was.
That was Gosetsu. I'm sure of it. He's in trouble. Lise, wait!
I suppose we should follow her then.
Victory to the samurai! How many is that now? 10 in a row?
Gosetsu!
Oh, this is a surprise! What in blue blazes are you three doing here?
Surprise!
I could ask you the same thing. We've been looking all over for you, and then I suddenly heard you screaming.
It would seem there has been a misunderstanding. Allow me to explain.
So, in summary, you started a brawl with some off-duty Imperial soldiers and were subsequently arrested by the Sekisugumi, whom you somehow befriended and convinced to set you free if you could defeat a given number of them in single combat.
I guess that is one way to do it?
10 bouts for my freedom, aye. 'Tis but a pity you came too late to witness the last one. And with that, I'm free to go, yes?
Our word once given may not be broken, but we pray you make every effort to avoid future altercations. Circumstances notwithstanding, my lord, we are honored and grateful to have witnessed firsthand the skill of a Doma samurai.
Ah, and we had just concluded negotiations. I gather my assistance was not required.
Oh, but doing it this way really fits Gosetsu. Once more, to the Ruby Sea. For a man who just defeated 10 samurai in a row, Gosetsu is looking rather sheepish. I must apologize that you endured such trials and tribulations in search of me. There's no need for that. You had no way of knowing we would come looking for you. We were after a ship to take you to Doma, yes? It just so happens we have found a willing captain. Truly? What fortune! We will tell you all about it back at the company offices. Alphino and Tataru are waiting for us there. Please let me in. Gosetsu, thank the 12 you are unharmed. As you can see, Master Alphino, I'm a very picture of health. You vile fiend, malevolent trickster, how kind the Academy are to grant me vengeance so soon. But first I demand you return the coin you so villainously embezzled from me. You have every right to be angry, good sir. Gladly I would return to you your coin, had I not been forced to repay certain gambling debts beforehand. Setting that matter aside for a moment, where's Lady Yugiri? Was she not traveling with you? For a time, aye, but we parted ways some while ago, the better to improve our chances of finding Lord Yen. Lord Yen? Forgive me, I have yet to explain. Lord Yen is the heir to Doma's throne and our master. He was a passionate voice for the cause of Doma liberation, and when we learned of the Emperor's death, it only grew louder. So you seized upon the opportunity and rose up to reclaim your freedom, only for your hopes to be dashed when Xenos led his army into your lands. The Crown Prince was a merciless foe. Against him and the might of the 12, we had no chance. Once Lord Yen understood this, he bade Yugiri take to the sea with as many of our people as possible. He however would stand and fight, but we might have more time to escape. I remained by his side as well, and together we carried on our doomed war. And then, one day in a fierce battle we were separated. I knew not what became of him, only what was beyond the Empire's reach, and that to find him, I would need Yugiri's aid. The situation grows more perilous by the day, for the new Viceroy Yotsuyu is a black-hearted villainess who delights in the torment of our people. There's naught she would not do to further her pursuit of Lord Yen. Thank you. I believe that makes matters a good deal clearer. It should please you to learn that we have come to aid the Dorman Liberation Front in resuming the efforts to overthrow the Imperial oppressors. Then allow me to join you. My inquiries here bore no fruit, hence my desire to return to Orphat. Once there, I can lead you to our headquarters in Yanxia, where we shall all be reunited with Yugiri. Mayhap not all. Alphino's talents would seem better applied here in Kugane, working closely with Tataru and Hancock to feed us intelligence. There is a Gallian embassy just down the road, after all. While I appreciate the vote of confidence, I should be glad to accompany you all. As a soldier in the field, so to speak. Come now, brother, a competent commander assigns his soldiers to tasks better suited to them, as you of all people should know, and you are so very good at espionage and intrigue. For we must all serve each in our own way. Very well. It would seem my place is here. Not happy? So, Ban is waiting at the pier. Have fun, you lot. I have been waiting for you, my friends. All preparations have been completed and my ship awaits its passengers. Shall we depart without further delay? After you, Shalt Friend. If you insist. With me, everyone. The Ruby Sea awaits.
I remember the water, how it turned crimson in the morning sun. A shimmering sea of rubies, stretching from horizon to horizon. You could almost believe it went on forever. But beyond that red expanse lay a land in turmoil. On the shores of Othard, our Doman brothers struggled in vain.
Somewhere out there across the water is Yugiri and Gosetsu's homeland. I don't think you see it when you stare at this monument. The Indians built this island as a bulwark against invasion and filled it with enough cannons to sink an armada. How white and beautiful she is, the Ruby Sea, filled with promise and adventure and treasures. Many wonderful treasures. Destination unknown. Asian traveler. Now, in order to reach the shores of Othard, you will need to cross those splendid waters you see before you. However, this is easier said than done. To set forth without making the necessary preparations is to invite the Confederacy to claim your vessel, and your life should you resist. But this fate can be avoided by paying the ruby tithe, whereby earning you the blessing of the pirate lords. So let us go and greet them. Our destination is the isle to the west. That doesn't look very far to me. Serenia, why don't we jump in and swim for it? I've had my fill of boats. An excellent idea. I think you shall find the water to your liking. I will use my ship to deliver those less inclined to the isle. And I don't get to be asked. Thank you. I have the eyes of a hawk, and it's both a blessing and a curse. On the one hand, I can see everything. But on the other hand, I can see everything. Okay. Then... somehow Lee's convinced us to swim, so let's swim. Right, this should be easy, and a good way to loosen up before the next fight, whenever it comes. 20 gil says I beat you there. I believe you have no gear whatsoever that is suitable to swimming. At least in the logical sense that you would swim with such gear. Not bad. We call it a draw. Not that I have anything against the occasional dip in the ocean, but to dive in on a whim is a bit... Oh, there you are. I trust you enjoyed yourself. Follow me, my friends. The one with whom we must speak is a man named Tansui. Probably up there. Welcome to Sakazuki, arguably the most important of the Confederate outposts. From here we have a clear view of a Ruby Sea in its entirety. Walk up these steps and have a look for yourself if you don't believe me. Bombfish? Bombfish! Okay. That was on my hunt list, sorry. I fear you have the advantage of me. The signs of the seventh dawn. Most honorable and esteemed Serenia Shadowstar. I'm Tansui, a humble mate who serves at the pleasure of the Confederacy's captain. As you are in the company of a shellback, I presume you have business to discuss. Doma's position in the Confederacy could be best described as one of guarded acceptance. They pirate, aye, but they adhere to a code and are a stabilizing force in the Ruby Sea. You wish to pay the Ruby tithe, yes? With your gil, perhaps? It is just as well. Foreign currencies are in demand these days. I would pay for the passage to Othard. Does this sum meet your satisfaction? The sea has been quite tempestuous of late. I cannot say with confidence that you would reach your destination safely. Unless you tripled it. Do you take me for a fool? I know the price, as do all. Alas, we live in interesting times. As you came from Fugane, I should think I need not tell you that. The shadows of war loom. The wise and the cautious shirk our waters and our custom. And the foolhardy sharpen their knives in anticipation. Meaning? Sir, You've got to come quickly. The bastards are at it again. I tried to convince them to stop, but they aren't having it. Very well. I will be there shortly. A proposition. Your comments strike me as a worthwhile investment. I would not hear a man name me a cat before Coburn, so I shall consider the tithe paid. Not for what they have done, but for what I expect they will do. I'm not sure what to make of that man, but at least the matter of our tithe is settled for now. What was that he and the other pirates were talking about? Maybe you ought to go and have a look? I think that is what we're getting our discount for. You won't catch me.
Gentlemen, I'm told you are most unreceptive to my associate's requests. I realize you do not look kindly on the Confederacy and her ways, but if you refuse to pay the ruby tithe, your safety in these waters cannot be assured.
Spare me your concern, pirate. Your feeble attempts at extortion will not work on us. You remain at large because we allow it. Because you are such insignificant little pests that we see no need to swat you. But if you wish to risk the ire of the Viceroy, by all means, fire upon an Imperial vessel. Give us a reason to bring the full might of the Garlean Empire to bear against your pathetic fleet.
Bastards!
Gentlemen, surely the fact that you have such limitless resources at your disposal gives you all the more reason to spare some few coins for the less fortunate.
All talk, just as I thought. Come, let us away. I have no time for this rubbish.
We're all the same to them, aren't we? Savages to be ruled or slaughtered.
They've always balked at paying the ruby tithe, but they were never so eager to pick a fight. The problem, you see, is that many of my comrades in the Confederacy are of Doman descent, and the acting Viceroy, well, she's none too fond of Domans, to say the least. If we take any action to hinder the safe passage of an Imperial vessel, she'll accuse us of attempting to foment rebellion and brand us enemies of the Empire, which we can ill afford to be. Like the man said, we're all talk.
And where did the Kojin stand in all this?
With the winning side, of course. They're mercenaries to a fault, eager to offer their services without coercion. The Shellback could tell you more, though something tells me he would rather not.
Where is he?
I don't understand. If the Garleans are causing the Confederacy this much trouble, and if so many of you are Doman to begin with, why aren't you willing to fight back?
Spoken like a true friend of the Doman Liberation Front. If you're planning to rouse us with noble words and grand promises, don't bother. We all know what the Imperial Army can do. Compared to them, we're boys with boats. Besides, what ties a man may once have held to his home are forsaken upon joining the Confederacy. We look out for none but our own. Be that as it may, our livelihood is under threat, and the captain will need to decide soon whether we're to go down in a blaze of glory, or bow and scrape for crumbs from the Emperor's table. All while our friend the Viceroy continues her purge of Doma's radical elements. I believe she's holding court in one of the fishing villages even as we speak.
That she-devil! Her perfidy knows no bounds! She must be stopped! Come, let us find Soroban and put us here at once!
Tell the others that these ones have paid. We all have places to be.
Okay. Seems we're going after the Imperial Viceroy next. Or acting Viceroy, rather. As the actual Viceroy was Prince Xenos. So, but I believe I end the episode here, and we do that next time. Until then, I'm Mace, and don't get lost.